What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. Got a new knife review for you. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, we are taking a look at the Kansept Link. This is a very interesting model from Kansept, and I'm really excited to be able to check it out and take a look at it with you. So my particular variant has the 9CR Damascus. There is a compound grind, so a hollow here flat out on the tip to give it some strength. You get a nice swedge with an opening hole in the blade and thumb studs for deployment. This one has the 80s camo carbon on the show side scales, and then titanium frame lock with a lock bar insert on the non-show side. So show side, this has the titanium pocket clip. Very good pocket clip, by the way. This thing goes in and out of the pocket. Fantastic. 3/4 length titanium backspacer with a lanyard hole for those out there that like that. Ergonomically, this thing is very comfortable. Lots of room here behind that sharpened edge. I fit very comfortably in here. I don't land on top of that little hump. My other four fingers land on here comfortably as well. Plenty of space, nice contouring, very enjoyable. When I went to do a little bit of cutting with this one, the 9CR obviously coming via the pass around group had a little bit of a rough edge on it. After I tested it though on that catalog paper, I went to the cardboard to test the cut with it, and it cut very well. Ran through that cardboard very nicely. Slicing at each cut was very impressive, the geometry on this knife. And then when I moved into the pinch grip position, it was very comfortable as well. I land perfectly on that landing spot here with my middle finger, my other three fingers around the rest of the knife, and then I'm really able to articulate my finger into that pinch grip position and just move right through the cardboard. I was able to do trace and detail cut work very well, and then again choking up here to get into the packages will be a pleasure. Won't be any issues at all. If I had one complaint, I wish this was flat instead of angled, because if you do slip at all, you're going to slip into that sharpened edge a little bit there. So having this flat would have been a little bit nicer, but having said that, I feel very confident that I wouldn't have that issue as long as I was exercising a little bit of care while handling the knife in this position. If you wanted to choke back, large hands, it's going to be 3.5 finger grip, and it's going to put you way far off that sharpened edge. So again, trigger up here for me is the perfect position. Again, just a slight angle trigger pull position with all three fingers wrapping around this. Very nice. Access to the lock bar is very good. The detent on this thing is super stout. I've slipped off these thumb studs a couple times, making me wish that the thumb studs actually had just a little bit more bite on them. The front flipper actually has good bite. I haven't slipped off of that at all. Long as I'm using my middle finger to kind of hold on to the pocket clip, I'm able to use that for the reach around. Very good. It is a little unsettling because again, that detent is really strong, but it works well. I'm able to fire it with no issues. I would say the most satisfying probably is that kick out reverse flick. To me, that's the most satisfying. Just wish it had a little bit more bite, and maybe the uncoated thumb studs do have that bite to be able to get that, but I just get off of that a little bit. Also, side note here, camo carbon upgraded their all their camo carbon and added like I think 20% more color is what I read, and it really shows in these more recent versions with their camo carbon inlay. Like you can really see the color jumping out of the carbon fiber, which I think looks really good. Now I know some folks don't like to have mismatching show and non-show side. That really doesn't impact me. I think some people would rather have had like this be an inlay and then just have like an inlay on this side to sort of match it up, even though it wouldn't be exact. But this doesn't bother me at all, especially when it's black washed like this against this type of camo carbon. I'd rather have that than the raw titanium against the dark carbon fiber with the colors in it. I think this actually looks a little bit more pleasing in my opinion. But let me break out a couple of additional knives here for size comparison, because I talked about everything else. Then we'll weigh and score the knife. All right, we got the Spyderco lightweights on the table. You can see that the link, I think I forgot to say the name before now. Sorry if I did. The link is actually going to be about the same size as the Para 3 lightweight. Very comparable, might be a little bit shorter overall, but that forged choil and the way that the ergos on this work, it's very nice, a little bit short of a blade. So, comparable, but slightly smaller. Let's do a couple more. All right, we got a couple more on the table here. The CJRB Echo, which you can see the link is smaller than, and then the Kaiser Militao. Let's do some closed profile comparisons as well, and then we'll weigh it. All right, guys, we got them closed up on the table, the Para 3 Lightweight and the Echo. They're very comparable, guys. With the top flipper in there, it makes it about the same amount of space in the pocket with a nice slender profile. Let's grab the scale and check the weight on this one. All right, we got the scale out. Let's cut her on and let's see what the link comes in at. Coming in at 4 ounces. By comparison, the Echo, I think, is 3.1. Yeah, 3.1. So a little bit heavier, but it is a titanium frame lock. And then this is going to be 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 for the Para 3 lightweight. Just for reference, so I think it's a good weight at 4 ounces. It's not awful. It's not the lightest ever, but it's still going to carry pretty light in the pocket. Let's go ahead and wrap up and give my score. All right, guys, score time. So everything that goes into the score, a rate on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being perfection, 1 being the worst thing you've ever seen in your life. What goes into it is price, build quality, ergos, performance, and everything like that. Like everything that you can think of that goes into the knife goes into that. I don't love the 9CR Damascus in the etched form on this one. I think the polished Damascus would have looked a little bit better here. I would have really loved to see this particular variant come with the S35 yen and then put the Damascus on something else. Having said that, they're trying to limit a price point on this, so I understand it, right? My preferences don't outweigh. I understand the fact that they're trying to do this and bring this at a price point that keeps it within an affordable range for more people than not. So I'm not really holding that against it. I love the contoured scales. Kansept can send you to use race washers with ceramic bearings, so you get this okay action. They detent tune on this one is outstanding, so opening it is very satisfying, but the close in it of itself, I just don't like it. It's not as smooth in my opinion, but the opposite of that is that you can tighten it and eliminate any potential side to side because the bearings are sitting flat on top of the washers. The balls are theoretically kind of hanging there without touching anything. They're only touching the blade. But I've found that I would say the action is always okay on anything coming from Kansept, but the trade-off is you definitely have a very strong, solid knife. It feels, very solid side to side, up and down. Access to the lock bar was good. The opening deployment method options, very nice. You got a bunch of them on this one. Thumb studs suffered a little bit, I think, from being coated. They could have made the steps a little bit more aggressive. This one being uncoated and how aggressive it feels, I think the thumb studs without being coated would have probably felt a little bit better. Great detent tune. I really like everything except the top flipper. I think it sticks out a little too far. I think if they could have brought it back to, I wish I had something that I could really show that was rounded, but I think if they could eliminate, 50% of it and just have it rounded into a true top flipper, something like that. Like if it would have been looking like this, but on this side, I think that would have looked really nice. The other thing too, I noticed the other day when I was flipping it, I actually had moved up a little bit and I noticed that it was catching on me. So just making that a little bit shorter would have made it even better. I definitely like the looks. Lock bar access, I mentioned that. Pocket clip goes in and out. That's fantastic. Contouring, very comfortable. They do a button T6, so a button head screw T6, so it's very machined very well. It's very tight tolerances. Doesn't feel like it's going to strip, but you do have to use 2 bits of hardware. I also wish the captive side just had a sterile pivot and that you could just loosen it from one side or the other. I think that would just clean it up a little. But again, keeping in mind that these knives are all under 200. I think all of them are under 200 if I remember right. Not too much to be mad about. I'm going 7.4. 7.4, you get a lot of titanium. Kansept's S35EN performs very well anytime that I've tried it. They've stuck with it because they do a really good job on it. Their 9CR is okay. It's about the same as any 9CR out there. You're just getting that Damascus look that they do on there with the stain and everything like that. I'd love this version with a smaller top flipper, more aggressive thumb studs, and the S35EN on there. This would be a great companion carry / summer carry or lightweight carry. I think even with the clean non-Damascus blade on here, you might be able to flex this into like a date night carry. It's not too big, it's not super intrusive, but it may be a little bit too aggressive. The compound grind is nice, great geometry. Going through the cardboard, it felt very slicey. Even with the more robust tip for the strength out on the tip, that felt like it was really strong. Like I wouldn't easily be able to break that. Just a good looking piece. I like this one a ton. It would be easy to recommend regardless which form that you got if you like it. I think the biggest bark I would have is I think the top flipper sticks out just a little bit too far. Ooh, there, I just did it there. Right there, it pinched me because I was up too high. See it right there where it's hitting? That's what I just did there. I got to remember to move down on the knife a little bit. Oh, and it still did it. There we go. So you got to be like all the way down here if you want to avoid that top flipper. I think that top flipper is just a little too tall. And it could be maybe something you can send somewhere to have them shave it down to about that tall and then re-add the jimping. I don't know if it'd be worth it at this price point, but if you like this, everything but that would be something that I think that you could easily do. The stop pins on this one are internal, and it's so tight in there, I don't think I'll be able to show it to you, but the stop pins are right about there. I can see them moving with the blade, but I like this one. To me, Kansept's been doing a lot of really good stuff here lately, guys. I definitely say check them out. I am an affiliate. If you do, the link is down below, so thank you for using it if you choose to do so. And if you enjoyed the video and my review of the link, that like is on your way out. Smash that thing for me. All right, I'm out of here, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll catch you all in the next one. Shout out to my channel members. I didn't forget about y'all. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace.